Tomato, unique New York. Alright, what's up guys? It's R3R Turbo here from the internet. Now today we are going to balance the throttles on a Triumph Rocket 3 Roadster. Same principle applies to pretty much all bikes, especially the Rockets, for throttle balancing. Now this is a, of course, non-carbureted model. This is fuel injection, so we can balance the throttles using a computer rather than vacuum gauges. Of course you could use vacuum gauges as well, but you'd be nowhere near as accurate if you're old school. So you're going to need a few things. You're going to need your bike, obviously. You're going to need your bike's key, of course, because you're going to have to run it. You're going to need a few other bits and pieces. Now, I think you need a work lamp. Very good to see what you're doing. You're going to need some basic tools. I like this 1/4" drive kit because, you know, it's got ratchet, screwdriver, extensions, sockets, Allen heads, Torx heads, and Phillips and flat heads, you know, so it's very handy. For this particular bike, I find having some Allen keys with the ball end on them are very good because there's some awkward places you have to get into. You're going to need a 150mm long PH2 Phillips head screwdriver. Normal screwdriver ain't long enough. Now you could use extensions here, but I find them way too bulky and awkward and kind of too much flexibility and rattling on them. I prefer this guy, much more slender, does the job just good. You're going to need a computer, Windows. I don't know if Apple does it, but definitely Windows. And if you choose to use, you can choose from TuneECU, TuneBoy, or if you want to spend a heap of money, the Triumph Diagnostics software. So with this you need a computer, with this you need a computer, with this you need a computer, but you can also use the Android version as well if you want to pay for it. It's a much more newer and more supported, or should I just say supported version. So of course if you're using your phone, you also need to have the, I think it's an OTC adapter, which goes from a normal USB that you find inside of every computer to whichever type is on your phone. This is USB type C. If you buy from loanelect.co.uk, they give you the adapter with it. I have one there, and there's another one here for a micro USB or a mini USB, I don't know which it is. And you have to be sure that it's the I think it's OTC type adapter. It's not just any adapter. Otherwise it won't work and you'll wonder what happened. So that is what you're going to need. So step one is you're going to have to take out your key and remove your seat. Now if you don't know how to remove your seat, there you go. That's how you do that. Just leave that there. And the next thing you're going to need to do is get out your, I should probably move all this stuff out of my way. I'm going to stand on it, which I don't need. I need that stuff there. I'm going to need that. Work lamp I'm going to need, and this I'm going to need. So first things first, let's take out a 5mm metric. They're all metric, of course, a metric bike. This is going to be take off this bolt here, because we're going to need to raise the tank. So I'll leave that there, and you're going to have to remove the bear claw as well, otherwise you can't move your tank. It's the bear claw right here. Now the lighting in here is not too bad. I forgot to mention, this is another thing which you should really have when doing this work, is a open space where you can do the work and you're not going to annoy the neighbours. I'm in an industrial unit here and it's a Saturday afternoon. There's not really anybody around, which is good because your bike is going to be running for, depending on how unbalanced your throttles are, you could, and how good you are at doing it. It's kind of nearly an art as much as a science. Depending on how long you spend doing it, the bike could be running for a while, and you know, you don't want to be pissing off the neighbours. Well, maybe you do, I don't know. But anyway, next thing you're going to need is your prop wand, which goes in here. Don't burn your hand off the engine. That's the other thing, you need to have the bike warmed up, because if the bike is not warmed up, you're not going to get an exactly properly balanced motor, or throttle bodies I should say, syncing or balancing the throttle bodies. Next up we're going to need to remove this air plumbing out of the way. Now as you can see, I have a K&N, I think it's an RU 5111. air filter here, just to get rid of the extra ducting that goes down to the stock air filter under the seat. So it just frees up toolbox space and stuff, but you pretty much have to remove the same stuff when you're doing it. 3mm. Now, I don't need this flexible extension, but it can help. So that's that. Now this is going to be awkward because there's two more bits in here I need to, I'll show you. Maybe I need the lamp for this. These two pipes here, or this pipe here, goes in between the 2 or the 3 cylinders, but they're in your way. The throttle balance screws are down underneath them, so you have to get rid of this out of the way, or at least pull it back. So you have to, it's because you're trying to get into, you can't even see the fucking thing, never mind, get into it. See it there? You have to loosen that screw, and you have another one up here you have to loosen as well to remove that plenum there. I'm gonna go for, where's my 3mm gone? This guy, and this guy. Let's see what happens. There we go, that's got it. And I am screwing it. I'm screwing it real good. Loosen it up. I'll go out until the nut is just full. Get into it, you bastard. Come on. Get into it. There we go. Alright, that's a couple mil out from bottomed out on the full of the nut. I'm going to leave it there. I have to take this back out again and not lose it. I'm going to go ahead and also let the coolant expansion bottle down out of my way. So, let's reroute this a little bit for a second. Hopefully my coolant don't start leaking on me. See that bastard in there? Yeah, him. Looks like a 5mm. I wonder, is it? It's my 5mm. I'll try it. Oh. I forgot about this guy. As I said, it's been a while since I worked on a stock bike. This bike ain't stock, it's a 2.5 litre stroker. As you can see right there. But I mean, the throttles and the intake plumbing are reasonably stock. Take this fucker out and try not to lose him. And putting all this back is just as much fun, if not more fun, as taking it out in the first place. I lost a washer there. Nuts. You might need a magnet on a... Okay, it fell down. Now there is another bolt holding the intake plenum down. It's in here somewhere. You can kind of see it there. Another awkward bastard to get to. So I'm going to need this again. Okay. Awkward fucker. And no washer with that one either. Goody. That means the washer's falling down there somewhere. So what I'm going to do here, just give myself a bit more visibility, is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect temporarily the map sensor and the intake air temperature sensor, just so I can pull this bastard back out of the way. Yeah. What is this, a 30? Yep. Remove the map sensor from your intake duct. Map sensor is very important to have in place when you're balancing your throttles, because it is the thing that reads the... There's one of my washers that fell down. That's what that looks like. Set it down right there. So now I want to go ahead and plug back in my map sensor. And I also need to plug in my intake air temperature sensor, because otherwise I'll get a fault. So you kind of need to pull it out of your intake duct like so. Careful, you don't want to break it. And plug it in right there. I'll leave it sitting in there for a little bit of protection. So, now we go around here. You can see a little better without that duct in the way. Now, you've got, see this screw here? That is the screw between throttle 1 and throttle 2. That's the balancing screw between those two. And if you can see it, hang about. See this one right here? That's the other one. A little bit of yellow paint on it from the factory. When the throttle's balanced, what to do is to put a bit of yellow paint on it just to mark what the balance point is. This is your vacuum. This is your vacuum tubing here, which leads the 3 into 1, going up to your map sensor. So, what you need to do balancing your throttles is your screwdriver goes down onto, and do it from this side, goes down onto that guy there, and you adjust your, those two screws have to be adjusted, and this one here as well, for balancing your throttle. Now you don't have to take off this intake plenum here. It would just make life easier if you do, because you can see in here a bit better than see from that side. Just set this down for a second. Here we go. That was, something got caught, just real awkward. You sit there for a second. That's what that looks like. Now we got a much better view. Oh, my helmet. That's what she said. I'm sure if I wash it, there we go. That's the fucker. You know, you want to be careful and not lose these things, end up going into your intake. So anyway, this is what my intake looks like. There are your secondary throttles, and there are your primaries down there. If I grab my throttle tube or my throttle grip right here, you can see those two guys here, that guy there, and this screw here. They're your balance screws. And what they do is, that's why it got caught. That little fucker there, and it fell off. Anyway, so here we are, finally. We're in a position where we can, I'm going to tighten you up a little bit there. Possibly dripping out through the filler cap. So just to tuck that down there to try and make it as clean looking as possible. This is where you need to be, or this is where I prefer to be. So you can drop your screwdriver down in there. I hope you can see that all right. And the screwdriver goes into the little screw like that, and you can adjust, and then the same back here. So here we go. Now we are ready to go almost. What I'll do is I'm going to sit that light there so that it kind of illuminates both screws and won't fall off, hopefully, when I start up the bike, and I can see both screws for adjusting. Now I need to hinge up my, oh great, tank is in the way, I have to lower it a small bit. Hinge up my Oh man, this is so awkward. You would get caught, and then you get caught on that. Fucking, why does everything get caught on everything that you don't want to get caught on? My life depended on it, you wouldn't get caught on it, you bastards. Now, I hinge this beast up out of the way and get my OBD plug. So now I have my OBD plug. I connect into, we're going to go with TuneECU first of all, start up the computer. So, I'll go with the computer first of all because I think it's easier to see what's on screen. So, here we go. I actually have two TuneECU plugs. This is the newest one. I only got this several weeks ago, really. Here we go. Now I don't want to burn my cable, so I'll leave it up there. I want to burn off the exhaust. Now what you do is plug in the cable first of all, so the computer recognizes your cable. Now I can plug into this thing. I think I don't really have too many connection issues, but generally what you do is you connect the cable into the computer, you connect the cable into the bike, you switch on the bike, and then you start up TuneECU. But we're alright. So you need to go into the test screen up here in the corner and take out your key, and you want to start up your bike. Now hopefully TuneECU will connect. It's on auto connect, so that's alright. Just wait for my little flashy light here. My secondaries are open to 100% there. Sometimes this takes forever, and the right thing to do is connect it up and everything first and then start up TuneECU. I think it connects better that way. Reliable to connect. That's what I'm going to do. Come on. My light. Oh, this is painful. Hold on, I got a flash of amber. So that means it's getting somewhere. Amber, come on, give me green, 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 give me green. Come on, you fucker. Yes, we're in. We've hacked in. Right, this is your throttle balance right here. Cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3. Now bear in mind that TuneECU reads in HPA, hectopascals, whereas the Triumph and the TuneECU software reads in millimeters of mercury. So, mercury? I think so, yeah. mmHg. So it has different numbers. But the important thing is that the numbers are all the same. Now, it's widely accepted that having numbers within 10 of each other is fine. Like I have 570, 580, 560. So that's not really within 10 of each other, because there's a difference of 20 between 560 and 580. So it's a little bit of an imbalance. So what I'm going to do now is adjust it and try and get 570 across all of them. So I'm going to start by adjusting the front cylinder to try and bring these two closer together, or the front screw, sorry. So I'll go down here to the front screw, and I'm going to go clockwise by, we'll say, a quarter of a turn. Now you want to give the throttle a little bit of a blip, just to move the throttle a little bit. What do we get? No difference. If anything, the middle cylinder has gone higher, so I'm going to go the opposite direction now. Go back anti-clockwise by a quarter of a turn. Actually, I'll go a little bit further, go half a turn. So from where it was, I've now gone anti-clockwise on the front screw by a quarter of a turn. And now I've got 590, 580, 590 on both front cylinders, or sorry, cylinder 1, cylinder 2, which is not bad. So now I'm going to go try and adjust this fella until it reads a bit more accurately. So that requires the back screw. So I'm going to go by forward a quarter of a turn. Backfire. And I got 570, 580, 570 in the second cylinder, 560, 570, 580. So 580, 570, 570, we'll call that 575. This is about 565. This is hovering between two, and this is that's not bad now. That's 570 each. So I'm gonna call I'm gonna call that balanced. About 570. Okay. So I'm not gonna go just in screws anymore, but that's how you do it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut this beast down, and I'm gonna take out TuneECU. And just 1 second now. Type in my password just in case anybody internet robs my phone. And I'm going to go to TuneECU on my Android device just so you can see what it's like here. ECU connect. Now this should connect in seconds compared to the computer. See, I've got a green light. Now I go across to my adjustment screen, and I've got 570, 560, 570. I hope you can see that all right. So I've got about 570 on all cylinders, so that's pretty good. I'm going to consider that good enough. So unplug you, close you down. Now, funnily enough, you can use just a little bit of trivia. You cannot use the TuneECU cable with TuneBoy software, but you can use the TuneECU software with the TuneBoy cable, funny enough. So with a TuneBoy cable, it does both TuneECU and TuneBoy. So I'm going to go into TuneBoy now just for the crack and see what the difference is. On the desktop here, TuneBoy 5107, and I go with that one. That's the version I have. TuneBoy I want. TuneBoy is the diagnostics, TuneEdit is the map editor. So this might take a minute to connect as well. Nope, it's connected pretty good. So my fan's going to come on now because my engine temperature is quite high. So I need to go into tests, and there are my cylinders, which funnily enough there's a bit more resolution in TuneBoy, I find, and it's in millimeters HG, which I think is mercury, if I remember correctly. And as you can see, I'm pretty much in balance. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go with that. But that's just to show the difference. It was 575 on TuneECU, and it's 427 on TuneBoy. So if you were to convert millimeters of HG into hectopascals, it'll probably work out about the same. So what I'm going to do now is close that down, remove this cable, and just for the sake of the viewers, show how this beast works in comparison. So in we go, and in we go. There's Triumph Diagnostic tool. Open up. Now Triumph is no better than TuneBoy or TuneECU. It also takes a minute to connect. So you can see now that I've had the engine running for a while, and okay, my throttles were pretty much close to balance anyway, so I didn't have to do a whole lot with them, but as you can see, you could be a while balancing your throttles and making all this noise. So here we go. There's some detail on my current ECU. So I need to go into, where the hell is it again? Sensor data, I think. Sensor voltages, no. Sensor readings, yes. Here we go. Cylinder 1 map, 435 millimeters of HG. Actually, 427.5. So this one actually has better resolution again than TuneBoy. And as you can see here, I'm basically, you gotta call that perfectly balanced. So that is how you balance your throttles. So now what we got to do, let the bike cool down. and you got to put everything back that you just took off. And then you have to, because you've adjusted the throttle plate slightly, you should go and do a Iscv reset. So if you want to click on the pop-up banner up in the corner, it'll take you to my other video on how to do just that. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope this video has been useful to you. So until next time, see you out there.